Call of Duty, Warzone, or even Modern Warfare literally has the best settings in any Call of Duty in history, and I think it works perfectly with Battle Royale. This is actually great. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the settings that I personally use and that I personally love. Now, this is really good to play a lot easier, to get a bunch more kills, and to just use the most comfortable settings that are great in the game. Hopefully, you guys can do great with these as well. So if you're wondering how people always drop shot you really fast, they keep their accuracy at super long distances, and they can drop you in the matter of seconds, guys, you've clicked on the right video. Today we're going to be looking at the best settings and starting off with the ones exactly that I use. Now you guys got to use these to go off, and trust me, these are the best settings in COD Warzone. What is up, guys? My name is Nick, and welcome back to another Modern Warfare video. Actually, Call of Duty Warzone video. I gotta get used to saying that one. And today we're gonna be looking at the settings like I mentioned. But before we do, if you could get 1,003 likes on this video, that would be absolutely amazing. If you guys could smash that, that would be super damn cool. And let me know the average amount of kills that you guys get per game down in the comments below. Like if you guys get like 5-10 kills per game, let me know that the average is probably around that. Let me know what you guys do. And guys, if you guys have a very high average and you actually go off in this, I really want to give you props, because this BR isn't as easy as Blackout, for example, and you guys probably go off. Now guys, subscribe to the channel with those notifications turned on, and let's get straight into this. So the first setting, the most important one in the entire game in my opinion, is the button layout preset. Now what you want to do to this is that you want to go and put it on stick and move. This is one that I personally use, and I feel like it's really good. Stick and move allows you guys to actually jump using R3 so that you can never take your thumb off the thumbstick. You don't have to move it around and stuff, and then you knife with X. And there is another one as well, and this is tactical, and this one is pretty good too, because you're able to crouch and go prone and slide and all that with R3, and you never have to take your thumb off the joystick. So that's how a lot of people end up drop shotting people. They put it on tactical, they go around, they slide, they drop shot, they do whatever they got to do, and it's just so much easier because they could aim and move at the exact same time as they drop shots. If you guys were wondering, that is on tactical. And the next thing you want to do in the button layout preset is press for flipped. I believe it's square on PlayStation and probably A on Xbox if you want to flip it. And this is really good because it changes your shoot buttons from L2 and R2 to L1 and R1, and this makes a huge difference. Like, it's just a few milliseconds, but in a game where it takes a few milliseconds to die, shooting with the top buttons instead is a lot faster, and that's what I really recommend. Now what you want to do after this is go to the sensitivity. The sensitivity is very important as well, and a lot of people, they think, oh, I gotta play on like a 20 sensitivity. You really don't, guys. You really don't. And what I recommend for real from a sensitivity is anywhere between 7 and 13. That seems like a very good sensitivity. I like playing on 9. That is the most comfortable one for me. And if you guys like playing on something else, go ahead and do so. And if you want, also vertical should always be one higher than the horizontal, and that makes a huge difference as well. It doesn't seem like it, but it plays a lot better. So that's what I like for sensitivity. But more important than the actual in-game sensitivity, the higher it is, the faster you could turn on people. But something that's more important is the fact that there's ADS sensitivity as well. So what I like for this one is to put it below the average. So what they set it on is 1.00 first. That is the actual sensitivity, and then I lower it to 0.92. This is when you're aiming down sights, your gun doesn't move like crazy. And actually, in a BR game mode, you might even want to drop that down to an 85, because most of your gunfights are in a longer distance. So what you want to do for that is put it down to around 85, so when you go for those longer shots, your gun isn't moving around like crazy, your sensitivity isn't taken over, and you could pretty much laser the enemies at those far distance, keeping your accuracy perfect. Now after that, I like to turn off the controller vibration. I know this isn't huge, but playing without controller vibration, honestly I feel a lot more comfortable. It doesn't mess with my accuracy at all. But if you guys do actually turn off the controller vibration, just know it's gonna take a little while to get used to playing without the vibration. Like, it took me a few days to actually get used to that. Now for the aim assist, I keep it on standard. It's honestly the best one. That's the one that I like the most. And yeah, so that's it for the aim assist. Now the other stuff, there's some pretty cool things within this game, so I want to show you guys some of those in a second. But before we do that, let's actually go into the general settings. This is one that not a lot of people like to do. So your brightness in the game, what you want to set it to is literally so that it says not visible in the black box, barely visible in the mid box, and easily visible in the other one. Because if you have it really high where you could actually see the not visible, your game is going to look disgusting. You're not going to see enemies at a far distance. And on my monitor, on my my screen that I used to play the game, the best one for me is 55. This makes the game look really clean. Exactly what you guys see on the gameplay right now is what I see when I'm playing, but look what happens if I put it all the way to 100. The game starts to look like this, and it looks very washed out, very ugly, and I really highly recommend you guys find the best brightness for you, one of them that looks natural. Trust me, your film grain, you want to turn that all the way down to 0. You do not want any film grain whatsoever. It makes the game look ugly as well, so make sure you go ahead and put that to 0. World motion blur, this one's important. You want to put that to disabled as well, because if there's an enemy camping out in one of the windows, if you're moving too fast, you're not going to see him whatsoever. It's going to look really weird. You're not going to see him whatsoever. And then there's weapon motion blur as well. You do not want this on. In case you're hip firing someone fast, you're not going to keep your accuracy perfect. You're not going to know exactly where you're aiming. Even when you're aiming down sights and you have weapon motion blur on mixed with world motion blur at the same time, it just makes for a really hard time. So make sure that you guys go ahead and disable those two options right there. Now, a new thing that they brought into this is actually the HUD, and this is what I really like a lot. So you got your regular minimap, which is a circle, but you could finally turn it to a square, which I think works a lot better for BR modes. Because let's say someone is in the top corners on the circle map, you won't see exactly where they are, but when the map is a square, you will see literally everything if they're up there. So make sure that you guys actually turn it to square. It's just a lot better, and make sure to enable the minimap rotation. You do want to have rotation on, so you're always looking north. You're not looking in different directions and whatnot. Make sure that's always on. Everything else is pretty cool here. You don't really have to change much else in the general, but something that's really important is the audio, and here's the ones that I really recommend. So you go to the audio mix. I highly recommend boost high, or also even the studio reference. Actually, I don't recommend the studio reference. Don't ever use the studio reference. But boost high, boost low, and home theater is all good. If you have a home theater, use this one. You'll be able to hear everything, but that's only for people who have a bunch of speakers and stuff. But if you're using a regular headset, boost low and boost high are the ones you definitely want to use. This allows you guys to hear footsteps. It allows you guys to hear gunshots and where everything is coming from. So let's say someone's shooting north, you're going to hear it coming from the north. If someone's shooting way behind you, you're going to hear it behind you. If someone's running right beside you, you're going to hear exactly where they are. And that's a really good setting to have. Now, for the actual volume mix, what you want to have is the volume set to 100, the music set to 30 so that the music never gets in the way of footsteps and stuff like that. The dialogue, this one you also want to put down to about 65. This is the characters talking and whatnot. You do want to have it high just so you could hear them call out, but you also want to have it down lower to 65. And the effects volume, this is the one you want to keep all the way at 100. This is the one you want to hear. This is grenades blowing up, this is cars driving by, this is gunshots being fired, footsteps being walked, and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you have that on as well. Now, the hit marker sound effect, you don't gotta change this, but I keep it on the classic. That's the one I like. I just like the older CODs. They feel so good. Now, the most important right here when you're playing with friends is this all down here, the voice chat. You obviously want to enable that, and you all obviously want to keep your open mic threshold down to 0 so that they could hear you even when you're breathing very lightly through your nose. Now, the best thing that I find is the voice chat volume. This is what you hear from people. You want to set this higher than the basic 100. It's normally set to 100, but you want to put that a lot higher. Like, I like to keep it at around 155, 160. That's pretty good. I could hear my friends clearly, but I could also hear the entire game very clearly as well. Now, the microphone volume, my microphone is a little broken, so I set it all the way to 400, but if your friends have trouble hearing you, make sure to put that all the way up as well. That's what I enjoy doing. Now, the voice chat effect, you want to put it to exactly no effect. If you put it to stealth comms or classic chatter, your friends are going to sound like they're talking through a tin can, and they're going to be like, yo, there's an enemy all the way at the first line, and you're not going to hear anything. They're not going to understand a thing. You're not going to understand a thing. You definitely want to be able to sound clear and perfect, so keep it down and no effect. But nonetheless, guys, those are the settings that I use in Modern Warfare. If you guys do enjoy these settings, go ahead and use them as well. This is what I feel like goes really good for me. I go off of people, especially with these. Now, you could obviously change it up a bit. Like, let's say you're a guy who likes your sensitivity to be a lot higher, go ahead and do that. But your ADS sensitivity in a battle royale, I always recommend keeping it lower than 1. This is the best, especially if you want to stay accurate and laser people at those long distances. And when you're going for those long distance shots, make sure to tap fire every single time. Don't hold the fire button, because your gun's going to kick in the air and you're going to miss almost every single bullet. So tap fire every single long distance shot. But nonetheless, guys, if we could go for 1,003 likes, like I said at the beginning of the video, that would be absolutely amazing. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here with those notifications turned on, and let me know down in the comments below your average kills per game. I just want to see who goes off and all that kind of stuff. But nonetheless, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to drop that like I said, it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.